All right, so today we're going to go over the inventory slots. So currently, if you have an item, it's the same slot on the back, no matter where the weapon is. So we're going to fix that. One of the first things you're going to need to do is go to the player, go and open the SKM for the Manny, and we're going to add backpack, not backpack slots, I just read that. We're going to change these sockets for our weapon. So we're going to name this one Weapon 1. I'm going to delete the gravity gun. We're going to copy this relative location. We're going to add another socket. You can do as many as you want. You could do pistol, holster, whatever you want. Weapon 2. We're just going to move this over to the other side. And 2 is good for now. But we're going to change the rotation of it. Because I believe... We'll test that out. All right, so we should not need anything. Make sure you save it. I had an error where this crashed and didn't save, and then my splines never got added, and couldn't figure out what the issue was. So one of the first things that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to go into our item defaults so that we can add a boolean. We'll open up items because we're going to need that. So we're going to add a boolean right here for is keybinded. You can do it as is weapon. So in here, under our ammo, you'll see that it's this item actor info. There's an equip slot, and there's nothing because you can't equip it. For the rifle, it has the equip slot as rifle, and spline socket is spline rifle. So basically what we're doing is we're overriding this spline rifle. So we're going to make this rifle is keybinded. Now that we've done that, we're going to go to our inventory equipper. This is going to be probably the most work that we're doing. Inventory equipper. I know where it's at. So the first function that we want to go to is this item owner. I know that we're going to have to change this, so I'm going to go ahead and add this. We're going to break it. We're going to get our new way of getting this is we're passing the key. So we're going to add this. We're going to add a key to it. So after we save the key to there, we're going to go back. We're going to pass this through. So this is on set item on container. All we're doing is breaking from our target container, getting the key, and passing that to attach item on owner. Once we're done with that, we're going to go back into here. And then our attach item on actor. So this is where this logic comes from for our sockets. So this is currently what it is. It's getting our spline socket from the item defaults, and it's getting the equip socket. So we're going to do a branch. And then if this is false, So if this is false, it's key binded, so it's going to be any other item. We're going to go to here. If it's true, we're going to redo the select. We're going to get a socket. Make this a name. So we're going to do the exact same thing as this. Equip socket is true. And then this is going to be socket to call get hold socket. And then we're going to want to add another return node. Put this in true and pass this on. And then we're going to want to go into our inventory equipper. And then we're going to create a new function here. Called get weapon socket. And then in this socket, we're going to actually pass the key that we have been getting for our other events. So this key right here, we're going to call this function get key. And then in this, we're going to pass a name socket. So this is going to be the new socket to call that we added in the get actor socket. And then how we determine, because we don't want to call this every time. We only want to call it when we get the is key binded. So from here, we're going to get item defaults, break, and then we want to only get is key binded. And if it's true, we'll call this, and then we'll go right there. All right. So once we got this attach item on owner looking like this, we'll go back into the get weapon slot. And this is to get the actual weapon socket name. So from here, we'll get key display name. And then we'll get an append string. Pretty sure this will work. So this is where you would, this is the socket beginning. So this is the number, the key number. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that will pass right there. And then this is weapon. So on our character, weapon. So whatever the beginning of that is needs to be the same as this. And then we're going to make literal string. And then we're going to pass this into that right there. So in our inventory equipper, switch weapon by UID. We need to add an input, our get key. And we're going to pass it to our attach item on owner. I don't know why I seem to always have a capital E on the get key. And I believe the last thing that we need to do, oh, it's going to crash, is we need to get our key in this. So we need to go into our switch weapon by key. We just need to pass in this key. We'll compile. Lastly, I created this in the beginning, so I thought I already did it. You need to connect from this break container info key and pass it to the attach item on owner. We'll save it. Go to the test room, play. So we have weapon 1, weapon 2. And that works. I'm going to, in my next video, I'm going to work on the sockets if you have equipment on. So like this one really doesn't matter. But if you have a backpack, you don't want your gun sticking through your backpack. So I'm going to make it to where if you have a backpack on, the gun will skip its socket for the body and will get the reference of the object that you're wearing as a socket to input. And that's it for today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it down below, and catch you on the next video.